Good morning. This morning we're going to finish up our study of the Ten Commandments in Exodus chapter 20. If you have not seen the previous videos, you might want to go check out the playlist on this channel called Lessons in the Ten Commandments, and you can catch up on all the videos that we've done for each one of these commandments. Also, if you have seen them and you'd like to review, they're there for you as well. So this morning we are on the last commandment, and we are at Exodus chapter 20, verse 17, which says, "You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male servant, or his female servant, or his ox, or his donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor." Again, pretty straightforward. As we've found with all the commandments, they're pretty straightforward. There's no real hidden meaning or real deep philosophical thinking required to understand what's being said. The word covet has to do with desiring something that belongs to someone else, so much so that it causes resentment or bitterness towards that person, as well as the idea of you would do anything, quote, anything, to get what they have. It's not like stealing, but it is kind of the symptom, the root cause of stealing. It's pretty much the root cause of all sin. We get into this mindset or heart place where we decide that we want what we want at any cost, and therefore we will steal for it, or we will kill for it, or if we decide that we want to talk the way that we want to talk regardless of consequence, then we say what we want to say with no shame or guilt. If we decide we want if you're a man and you decide you want a certain woman, then you go about trying to get that woman. Uh, you know, it all boils down to your desires, and I think that all of these commandments are rooted in selfish desire, and that's what we're looking at in verse 17. It says, "You shall not covet your neighbor's house." How many times have we looked at someone's house that's bigger or prettier than ours, maybe, and we say, we say, or we think, "I wish that was mine." Now, it's not a sin to desire success for your life, to use what God has given you, the talents and the skills and the intellect that God has given you to pay your bills and be a bit successful in this life. We're not all called to be multimillionaires or anything like that, and I don't think that it should be desirous of God's people to be seeking after millions and millions of dollars. But there's nothing wrong, and I think it's being faithful when we take care of our business. We're good stewards of what God has given us, and we have we have a roof over our head and a job to pay our bills and to eat with, and I think those things are commendable. But to go as far as saying, "I wish I had something that someone else has," and to the extent that it causes bitterness and resentment, whereas you would do anything to gain it, hurt someone, steal from someone, those kinds of things, commit adultery with someone else's wife. Therein lies the violation of the 10th commandment. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male servant, or his female servant, or his ox, or his donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. All of the things that this person has they have gotten as a result of work and stewardship of their stuff. And to steal from that or to desire to want that without doing the work is where we violate this commandment. So, pretty straightforward again. Uh, don't be so desirous of other people's things that it causes you um, to become sinful in your mindset in things that you do as well. Work for your own stuff. Be a good steward of what God has given you, what He has blessed you with, and be grateful that you have what you have. So I'm going to stop the video there this morning. Again, it's a very short, very simple, straight to the point kind of commandment. And these commandments, uh, unlike some false teachers today that tell you that the Old Testament does not matter, or that we should not read it or unhinge ourselves from it, these commandments are still applicable for us today as Christians. Uh, if you read them, I mean, it's just common sense. You shouldn't kill people, right? You shouldn't cheat on your wife or cheat with someone else's wife. You should not lie. You shouldn't steal. You shouldn't be greedy for other people's stuff. These are very basic moral things that you should do. You should honor your father and your mother. You shouldn't worship any other god but the one who is God alone, the creator of all things. To unhinge ourselves from these commandments is to unhinge ourselves from our moral standard, which comes from God. And when you do that, you get what we have today in American culture that is shameful. People don't know what gender they are. Uh, People are doing whatever seems right in their own mind, not according to any standard or any law or morality. They're just kind of doing whatever feels good to them, and the consequences of that sin is death and destruction. So, I'm going to close there today. If you have any comments or prayer requests, please put those in the section below. And I will see you guys in the morning. Don't forget to love one another and live out your faith. Have a good one.